Добрий день, я вітаю всіх.
Good afternoon. I want to thank everybody who joins us. My name is Ihor Taburets and Ukraine Media Center Ukrinform continues its operation. Today is day 433 of the full-scale invasion of our homeland by Russian occupiers, and now we will be talking about the aftermath of the terrible tragedy in Uman. Joining us online is Ihor Taburets, the military governor of Cherkasy region. Good afternoon, Mr. Ihor. Good afternoon, Mr. Ihor. Today we will be talking about the aftermath of the terrible terroristic act committed by the Russians against us on the 28th of April. They shelled Uman and we have a terrible number of victims as a result of this attack. What are the consequences? What is the preliminary summary of the rescue operation? Yesterday we've seen, all of us, the footage from the cemeteries, from the burials. So what's the situation as of now in Uman? Talking in brief about the summary, the rescue works are over. Our rescuers worked quite efficiently, and for the time being we have the official statistics when we can say about 22 casualties which were identified, and currently there are measures taken as to the genetic testing of the 23rd person. Those 22 casualties include 6 children. And there are 19 more persons injured, including 9 who were hospitalized immediately. For the time being, only 9 persons remain in the hospitals, and 2 more were transported to a hospital in Uman. Their condition is medium to heavy. They have all the medical assistance provided. We were able to visit them today and to see that their condition is stable. Mr. Ihor, what about the aid to the families of those who became the victims of this terrorist attack? Since the very first day we were helping the families financially and materially. Our humanitarian partners were involved in this operation, the representatives of ICRC and other humanitarian organizations. Block Kitchen were providing food ratios and hot meals, and also supplied the people with basic necessities, with supplies to cover the basic necessities like logs and plastic film to cover the window frames to preserve the warmth in the apartments. Since the very first day of the tragedy, the committee started working, which calculated the losses and damages. The committees were forwarded by the regional administration and municipal council. The work is underway, and since this morning we know the approximate amount of losses and damages, and we have the preliminary plan for reconstruction. We will have to renew about 1,500 windows. However, the good news is that 3 organizations already started installing glass in those window frames. As I mentioned, they are the GEM organization, Nova Poshta, who also got involved in this project, and that building which was targeted by the missile, there is the examination by the specialists from Kiev going on as to the possibility of capital reconstruction of the building, or otherwise there will be the professional decision undertaken whether such reconstruction is possible, or it should be demolished. Sorry. So for the time being, the decision is not yet taken. Well, so this is the situation. As to the material resources, yesterday the municipal council meeting resolved to allocate 3.2 million hryvnias for basic reconstruction of the infrastructure components, for the processes that are related for financial aid related to burials. And the regional council, regional administration, adopted the resolution on allocation of 5,250,000 hryvnias as a subvention to the municipal council for reconstruction needs, the ones that I mentioned above. And 3,250,000 are allocated for disbursement to the families of the victims, of the casualties, and those injured ones. So we will disburse 100,000 hryvnias per each victim and 50,000 hryvnias for one injured person. Mr. Ihor, so what's going on in that building? Are the inhabitants of the building removed somewhere? Do they have an alternative bulletins, and do we know what is the number of people who got deprived of their homes? Well, it's a 9-story building with 2 sections. It consists of 99 apartments. 14 apartments were completely destroyed. About the same number is in a very bad condition, unfit for living. And as of today, 26 persons addressed us with request for alternative bulletin, and their belongings were moved to other place, and they were placed in the social dormitories, social hotels, so-called, the ones that we were preparing to accept the internally displaced persons. The conditions are created for full-fledged normal living. There are appliances installed, and the families of the victims and casualties and those injured ones were provided with food rations. We were inspecting the conditions of their living. We were visiting them yesterday. They are in depressed state emotionally, but they react quite normally and positively to the things we're doing. And since the very event, this unpleasant event, we have strong communication with the Ministry for Reconstruction and with the Office of the President, and we communicate with the municipal government on a 24/7 basis. They've undertaken the burden of resolving all the necessary matters and the physical problems. Good afternoon, Ukrinform. In Uman there should be one hotel built by a foreigner to be demolished according to the resolution of the court. Was there an issue of its reconstruction or finalizing its construction brought up for further billeting of the persons, like internally displaced persons or those who suffered from the latest rocket strike? Also, we know that the burial spot of Tzaddik Rahman, the central figure of Hasidic religion, is located in Uman. So did Israel express any concerns or desire to support the victims of the missile strike? Well, thank you for the question. As to the first question, there are infrastructure facilities that should be demolished. I'm talking about this Hasidic quarter where this historic monument is located. The civil organization which deals with the Hasids they proposed the spots in their hotels for temporary bulletin of the people who would need such bulletin. They have relevant capacity, and they will preserve it all the way until the day of the celebration of Rosh Hashanah. Regarding any official communications and statements by the State of Israel, I don't know whether it was verbalized on the level of the state, but I know that Hasidic organizations, specifically the one located in the United States of America, they expressed their condolences, and they addressed us with their proposition as to the provision of aid, of support in resolution of these or those issues. We will analyze the proposal, and if there will be some concrete things to be discussed, we will definitely use their services. The most expenses, when the decision will be undertaken, will be accounted for construction of the building in question, the main building that was attacked, and obviously it will be either demolished and built from scratch, from the ground, and in that case we will need involvement of our partners and civil organizations which can be classified as Hasidic organizations and which would be able to provide such kind of help. Mr. Ihor, as to the support, to what extent did business got involved in support of the citizens? On the example of Dnipro, we've seen how the business was undertaking the joint effort to support the victims of the rocket attack or missile attacks in Dnipro. Yes, from the very first day the business is actively involved in all the operations. Different organizations, different business organizations in our region get involved. The help was provided first of all with the material which was actively used in clearing of the debris that we had to clear in the first place. That's a very efficient and up-to-date material which was provided by construction companies. Also, our agrarians stepped up with an address to us and to the municipal council with their proposal to support, and we consider all such proposals very meticulously, so everything is going on in a socially balanced manner, because there are some families which lost like 5 members and there are no relevant recipients of the financial aid because no relatives are identified. So this is the element of social responsibility of our citizens. I'm sure that they will continue working in this format, and this support will be used and it will be covered and emphasized in our joint effort against the enemy. Well, thank you for joining our broadcast, dear colleagues. I'm reminding you, joining us was Ihor Taburets, the military governor of Cherkasy region. Right now our team is working on the schedule of briefings for tomorrow, so follow our announcements, bear with us, work together for our victory, support and thank our armed forces, and glory to Ukraine.